welcome to the stream. So glad you're with us tonight. We've got a good matchup tonight in the 18 versus 18 tournament. We've got Esprit de Corps facing off against OP-BHB. For those who are familiar with both these teams have a close relationship. Former alliance partners for two seasonals. Communities retain strong ties, play a lot of fun matches with each other, do a lot of internal events together. Still a lot of close friendships. And a lot of goodwill between the teams. And so this is sort of a sibling matchup, if you will. The two teams have faced each other before, with Esprit coming out on top. Esprit de Corps is currently undefeated in the tournament. I believe is 9-0 right now in the 18 versus 18, I believe. And OP-BHB is coming off a challenging, kind of heartbreaking loss earlier this week against the Line. They held checkpoint for 25-ish minutes or so, and then unfortunately lost it at the very end after having a pretty strong hold on it. So I'm sure they're looking for some redemption, and I know Esprit is looking to keep the hot streak going and remain the only undefeated team in the tournament. So we're going to get started here in just a few seconds. We should be starting right at the hour, and I'm going to try and get the timer here to sync up so it's right on the money here. And we'll be off to the races here in just a moment. All right, and we can see our teams are off. We've got Esprit de Corps playing as the Axis, the blue side here, and OP-BHB on the left side of the screen, playing as the Allies. I recognize as we're currently aligned, watching it, the logos are on the other side, but they are correct in terms of the HUD up top. So for those of you who haven't observed or played in an 18 versus 18 match on Roar River House here on Hill 400, just a little bit of intro to this. This strong point right here obviously is critically important, but there's really only this tiny little section right there where my cursor is that is in the strong point that's in the house. Everything else is just a bowl of death. So teams are going to fight over that small amount of real estate. We're going to see what's going up top here, though, just to see if anybody can make a breakthrough on this top section, which could fundamentally change the dynamic of the map before we jump down there. And I anticipate we'll spend the majority of our time spectating that one house. We're in for a fun 30 minutes. No contact yet. MGs are going off. Esprit's got two MGs in place in the high ground. Takes out, the MG for OP-BHB went down. At least the one down the center of the screen. All right, early cap weight is going to Esprit de Corps. Rocket misses, but two players go down, and OP-BHB starts to take the cap. That makes a difference, those two gunfights. Esprit de Corps taking the lead back again. We've got ourselves a little back and forth contested. We've got an even fight. Not much going on up here, although that MG goes down. If these MGs go down early, it's pretty critical. Let's take a look at where Esprit has their OPs. Pretty predictable. Nice little line there, relatively conservative. OP pushing back, starting to put it contested, and they lost that little bit of momentum they had there with whoever that assault player was going down. Unfortunately, tons and tons of smoke out. And as I mentioned before, this house is critical. I'm surprised. Oh, you know what? Don Weiss probably isn't actually in the strong point until he gets into that corner. If he gets into that corner, yep, look, perfect. This is what I'm talking about. He gets in that corner, and immediately that 3 times multiplier goes into effect, and notice he started contesting it right when he did that. Now, OP's got the well, not cap lead, but cap, I don't know what you call it in this section. They're taking the point right now. Esprit de Corps not yet able to push OP out of this section. OP with a strong start down here on the north side along the river bend. Takahara looking to make a play. He's going in, although he's a little exposed as he gets in the building. Can someone stop him? No one stops him. All right, we're going to have ourselves a gunfight here. I'm going to zoom in here quickly. Pardon the jerky camera movement. Let's see. A rocket tries to take out Don Weiss. Unsuccessful. Taka, is he going to come through the door? Is he going to throw a nade? What's he going to do? Automatic rifleman has a nade. Does he use it? Does he know Don Weiss is prone? Just watching that throw. Oh, Don Weiss gives himself away. Taka with the smart play. Oh, well, can't say that's a smart play now. Taka, no. Okay, well, I think it's safe to say Don Weiss came out on top on that one. Alrighty here. So if Don Weiss, oh, he moved out of the. See, it's just really that little sliver he was in. So he's losing his strong point pressure when he stands right here. I mean, it's just millimeters of difference, but it makes a significant impact. He needs to go to his right side, or yeah, his right side, our left, in order to make that that cap pressure work. But as long as he stands there holding that window without getting into the edge, he's not being as effective as he needs to be. Unfortunately, I don't know if he. There he goes. Okay, he sends back into that section. But it looks like Esprit de Corps is winning enough gunfights that's not providing as much cap pressure. Oh, and Don Weiss goes down. Okay, I expect Esprit will will take this cap at this point. We're gonna go up north here and see what we got. Excuse me, down south and see what we got going on down here. Oh, pretty even matchup here. We've got 3 players holding the top of the hill for each team. Mostly this is probably, I imagine, just going to be a bit of a standoff and a stalemate. Obviously, one team could make a breakthrough play, but it's not like either team is overcommitting. It's pretty balanced allocation of resources here, so not expecting anything too dramatic up here, but of course, we'll see how the match plays out. There we go. Who just made that play here? That's St. Pepsi, takes out one of the OP BHB players. And now Esprit does have a little bit of an opportunity to maybe start pincering in here. We'll see. We'll see if they take it or if they're content just to hold this section. OPBHB, since we left, seems to have taken significant control and is making very good progress down south along the house. This is quite a good opening fight here. This has lasted a while. Some of these opening fights are decided really quickly, and then there's not much but a stalemate after this. So we've got ourselves a good matchup going on here. This is a good match to watch. No surprise here, 2 strong teams. I wouldn't expect anything less. High Speed Hilly trying to make it a little more costly to maybe hold those windows. He doesn't have much room to advance on that side. Who do we have here in the MG? We've got Nano. That's how you pronounce his name. And let's see, he's facing off. Who do we have here? Keebs. Oh, Keebs is a good shooter. Would not want to be in the opposite of his barrel. And who do we have here? Dyslexic. 2 good shooters. 2 good shooters. Doing some area denial work over here. OP is going to get the cap, I think. It's going to be pretty hard to dig that many players out of the house. I'm surprised to see they've been able to take that easily. Well, I should say that easily. I'm sure they fought hard for it. Let me rephrase that. I'm surprised Esprit didn't put up a better fight for that. Hilly goes down. I think this is basically a done deal. I would be surprised if Esprit is able to stop the cap at this point. They're going to have to focus on replacing their OPs. We have a squad leader who is going, Shaka Zulu, who's going for an end run around the house, which is a gutsy play with the cap about to be lost. And as a squad leader, he cannot die when his OP goes down. That is critically important. I'm surprised he's playing this aggressive right now. Looks like he goes to ground. I think he realized what was happening. Staying alive. And we have a cap for OPBHB. Well done. Well done to OPBHB. Shaka gets up, takes out Dyslexic. He's going to try and replace his OP. Did OPBHB already have the cap and I just missed it? And it was, I think they must have capped it earlier and I just wasn't paying close enough attention. I think that's what just happened. Veteran caster right here, folks. Nothing gets by me. All right, OPBHB well in hand with the building here. Taka going to try and go for a redemption play up against Leap, Spec, and Wilhelm. Not going to happen today. Not going to happen today. Well, there's not much pressure from Esprit down here. I'm surprised, given how important this this area is, and this isn't the first match for either team on this point. We've got a lot of pressure shifting down here now, though. Quite a few coming in. OP playing far more heavy on the south side, up on that hill face, which I am interested by. That's a strategic choice I'm not sure I agree with. But you know what? I'm not an expert on the 18 versus 18. Maybe they know something I don't know. Esprit de Corps starting to swarm here. They have got to take the building itself if they want to get the point. There's just no other way to do it. They've got to get in there. They've got to root out those players. And they've got to hold it. And OPBHB knows it, and they have no interest in giving that to them for free. OPBHB is going to put up a fight. These are some good shooters in here. Easton goes down. It's all up to US Ranger here, who is facing a couple of different directions of fire, potentially. Clearing the window. He's pushing in. Let's see. He's going to enter the house. He's going to check his corners here. Let's follow him in. Ranger checking the stairs. Carefully peeking his corner. Let's take a look at what's up there waiting for him. Well, he goes down. Not sure who got him. Somebody from another angle, I'm guessing. Because I don't see anybody down below who could... Oh, I see who it is. It's Wilhelm here, just holding that angle. That's a smart play. That's a smart play. Esprit Corps trying to smoke their advance, trying to take more territory that they just lost. Looks like Shaka is tip of the spear here. Let's zoom over, see what's up with Shaka going on and who he's facing off with, excuse me. Garlock. Shaka holding his angles. Shaka going right into Garlock's sights here. Advancing. Pretty aggressive play here. And he goes down, gets caught sprinting between the trees. Takahara following up. I'm surprised to see this deep of a push here by Esprit. And surprised to see that much weight up on the south side by OP. Seems, frankly, like a little bit of a misallocation of resources by both teams, from my opinion. Given what we've seen in the past, we've observed that it is that 1 square foot of real estate, right? Where this player here, Spec is, who's doing all he can to hold this down. He's going to start to get overwhelmed here if he's not careful. I think he might be up in the attic. I'm going to turn off collision here and go through here. He is up in the attic. So you could be in the attic, you could be the second floor, you could be the first floor. I doubt the Esprit players know he's in there because he's just sitting there quietly holding the cap pressure. But we've got 2 players from Esprit holding the first and the second floor. Yeah, you can hear him talking to proximity, so they're going to outweigh him. Of course, he should do what he's doing and stay there, because if he goes out and dies, it just makes the problem worse. So he needs some reinforcements, and he needs them now. Spec doing the right thing, playing the slow, smart play here. We're going to just glide through that building. Let's see if he's going to get any help from his friends on OPBHB. They are smoking. They are trying to push up, but they have got a ways to go. I think Esprit is probably going to get away with taking this cap here. Madcap Don Vice doing everything they can. Leaps on his way. They understand the situation. They are pushing as hard as they can, but Vice goes down. I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh my goodness, yes, look at this. Esprit de Corps owns the house. I think they are probably still unaware of Spec in their attic right now. But what does it matter at this point? We're hopefully probably going to see some smart play. I would imagine nothing less from the OPBHP players who are going to have to replace their OPs for the squad leads, particularly momentarily. I would imagine the squad leaders are going to start to play a little more conservative so they don't get their OPs wiped. We'll find out, though. MG is brutal. And we've got ourselves a blueberry party over here. With little old Spec. Just the cherry on top there. Spec, does he know? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. All right, and the cap goes to Esprit de Corps with 17 minutes left to play. First half was OPBHB in pretty solid control. Seems to be slipping from their grasp now, with Esprit making some good plays. Let's see how the last half goes, though. Plenty more to play. Oh, I'm seeing a squad leader. Let's take a look who that is. Running back from the garrison, I believe. Or if not from the garrison, at least push back pretty far. That's not a good sign. Dyslexics, that's who that is. Okay, we previously saw him on the north side, so he's... Okay, there's his P. Let's just keep an eye on that. Right here, this observe observe mark can't be seen by the rest of the team, so we're safe to put that down just for our own visual reference of where an OP is. So yeah, he got wiped. There's no way he'd be putting that OP up there if he had another option. And let's see, we've got whoever D squad is from Esprit is calling out an OP down here. Let's see how accurate that is. We've got a player coming in here to try and take it out. That's a pretty accurate mark. You can see that OP right in front of us. Takahara is going to try to come up the hill against Don Weiss. Oh, he's got himself his hands full. I think OP is going to snuff this out. Taka's good, but that's a tall order. Grenade just dismembers Don Weiss. Yeah, Wilhelm takes down Taka, and the OP lives to fight another day. Free Fire posting up with his MG. Having none of that, we've got quite a few players here with a vested interest in keeping that OP alive. That said, Esprit de Corps is pushing up, but it doesn't matter because they left the house, and if that is still Spec, oh my gosh, that's still Spec sitting in the... They never found him. Spec, you're my hero. When you watch this back, just know that you're my hero. He just hauled it down. Esprit de Corps totally missed it. Did not check the top floor. Expect other teams to try that one in the future on this map. Just sit there silently. Strong point pressure is huge. Although Taka can be in the strong point as well right now because he's been so far pushed back, he can actually walk through this kind of bowl of death here without getting killed, which is a little bit remarkable given how much of a kill zone that is. That really reflects how far back, particularly this this northern squad here by BHB has been pushed back, that they really can't even prevent Taka from running open like that. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I would say right now, OPBHB is in danger of getting boxed out on this river edge here. Looking quite a bit stronger up the middle, though. And certainly has capacity, I guess, if they wanted to try and take this top ridge and maybe push down. They have the numbers at least, although I don't know that that would really get them what they need in terms of cap pressure. They really do need to get down to this map edge here, this river edge on the north side, and retake this ground. It's hard to imagine this match being won by OPBHB without that. Certainly this squad down here isn't giving up, and they're trying. It may be time to reevaluate how much pressure they have up north and in the middle here, or excuse me, down south and in the middle here. Because I really just don't think that's the way to win the game right here. As you're seeing, it's not taking much from Esprit de Corps to hold them off. It's just so hard to advance through these forests. You know, somebody can just defend. Once you have the defensive advantage and you just sit and hold, whenever somebody has to bound from one tree to the next, they're just so much more vulnerable. And so it does not take as many to defend as it does to attack, particularly in forests. This terrain really just favors defensive play. Having said that, the point is contested right now, and that's probably almost entirely due to Spec, who just got a little bit of cap pressure right there. I'm giving you all the credit, Spec. I just hope you know. Well, yeah, Esprit de Corps definitely going for the full box out here, down by the river. And I think they were successful in wiping that OP, given how far Dyslexic squad is pushed back. Let's take a look at this from the other angle here. Oh, it's Madcap. That's right, Dyslexic is up in the mid. Madcap, Freak Fighter, got the OP reestablished. That's pretty much on the line here, so that does not reflect any territorial gains. That's pretty much being boxed out. Now, it's not quite as bad as being pushed back to the garrisons, but it's not that much better either. They should be able to get a little ground here. For their sakes, I certainly hope so. Don Weiss hanging out in the smoke down by the river. Well, I think we are in for a stalemate up in this section of the woods here, this neck of the woods. Let's go see what's going up on the cliffside, see how that section is progressing. And I will note that OPBHB is getting some cap pressure. Oh, Spec, my boy, they got you. No, such an epic run. Chronic and Epson trying to stabilize things by just going and hanging out in those safe sections there. They seem to be doing just fine at that. That's a kind of a pull lever in case of emergency option that's available to Esprit since they fully own that section. It's going to be just about impossible without kicking them out of there for OP BHB to make up this lost territory here. Well, I'm going to take us up high here, and we're going to get ourselves a bird's eye view of what's going on. Let's take ourselves up to the skybox limit and pull a 180 and see what we have here, survey the full battlefield. Yeah, as you can see, Esprit is in strong control here. This kind of diagonal line across, reflecting a pretty significant amount of control relative to what's available to play, given that Esprit pretty much owns that C3 area. Obviously, you can see there's one player down there, all the way down there from OPBHB, but that's not much, and that person's going to face a wall when they get down to all those players there. So OPBHB continues to pin their hopes up on this cliffside fight. I'm not sure why. With 10 minutes left to play, I would think it would be time to reevaluate the strategy. I'm not suggesting they cede the ground entirely, but as we were talking about earlier, defensive play is favored in this section, so you can just leave a smaller amount than you're facing, and you should be able to hold it so long as they're relatively decent players. You can leave an OP up there so they can keep coming back to it and have your other players make a little bit of a run, because that squad down by the river just needs some help. They're going to need more numbers. Making a little bit of cap pressure here, and expect Esprit player to go right back to that section. Yep, see, exactly. As soon as OP does that, you're just going to see whoever this is. I'm guessing that's going to be, what, Chronic, probably? I think that's who we left there. Let's just see on the map here. Oh, it's Epson, and he's not actually in that section. So I misspoke. Oh, he might be. Let's find out. Let's zoom in. Oh, yeah, that's probably counts as strong point. Well, that certainly doesn't where he's going now. But Esprit de Corps doesn't need it at this point. Well, 8 minutes left to play in regulation. Of course, there is overtime. If either team doesn't have full control, the clock will continue to run until one team gets full control. At this point, though, it looks like unless something really significant changes, Esprit is probably going to be content to simply run out the clock. Not seeing particularly aggressive play by Esprit as I say that. Let me go ahead and just eat my words. There goes Lost trying to punch through. Does he know the OP is up there, or is he just going for a walk? Lost going on a scouting mission. Takes down like 50. Marks himself. Okay, that's an errant mark. He removed it. Keebs spawns in. Only one spawn in. Lost is going up there looking to his left. He's going to get shot from his right. Okay, he's alerted to the danger, but he doesn't, of course, know where it is, whereas Keebs knows where he is. Lost goes down. It was a valiant effort. Great shooting by Keebs, though. Lost, I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at. Good try. And Esprit is losing a little bit of the cap, and OP is starting to gain it. Let's see what might be causing that. It's like they're starting to mass a little bit more here, that they being OPBHB here. Esprit electing thus far not to utilize their advantage of the cap section. Shaka may be falling back to do just that. And he does just that. And just like that, like clockwork, we watch the cap is being held.
No, take the middle MG spot.
And let's see, we've got Nano here and Fortress, 2 MGs. So we've got the MG from both squads very close to each other. That's an interesting strategy. And Fortress goes down, so maybe that's the benefit of it. If you lose one, you've got another. Downside being you're letting go of a pretty significant amount of real estate that you could be covering. It's pretty typical up in this area where we've got the camera focused right now to have an MG, because if we do a 180 and we look down at what it can see, well, the argument makes itself. So why the decision will be made to give that up, I'm not entirely sure. We will see if Nano continues to hold this or repositions, or if perhaps Fortress takes that old position. Who do we have up here? Who's the MG? Jonaz is up top, but he's going to be focusing on the other side. Don't see Fortress coming in. There he is. Okay, Fortress is running in, but he's coming back down to that position. So for now, Esprit content to give up that line of fire. I'm not sure what the thought process is there, but thus far it's not cost them. Shaka Zulu just camping it out and sees the furthest forward player. That responsibility falls to him. And let's see who we have here down by the river. From OPBHB, Don Weiss and Spec. Spec misses his home in the attic and he's trying to get back. Don Weiss has been hanging out in the river. He needs his waders. Nobody wants soggy socks. What an awful way to spend your day. That's commitment right there. Don Weiss goes down to U.S. Ranger. Good shooting Ranger. Spec's going to hold that until players can come back up and support him. I doubt he'll push on his own. And we got U.S. Ranger and Nintendo Fury, who also seem more than content just to simply hold and wait. Playing the long game. About 5 minutes to go here left in regulation. And let's zoom out here and see what else we got going on. You know, not much of a change, although I will say compared to about 5 minutes ago, the real only change is that OPBHB has been able to push in and reestablish here along this riverbed, which is significant. And as I was saying earlier, they need to reposition their forces to go heavier down here, and it looks like they have done just that. Look, we've got 2 squad leaders down here, and we have sort of a collapse down into this bowl of death here by this house. This is what they need to be doing. I think they probably needed to have started this earlier, but there is still enough time. They just do not have as many options or chances for things not to go their way. I think that regardless of what happens, I would imagine that as they're reflecting on this match when it's over, they will recognize that having put more resources down to this direction here earlier would have benefited the team and the gameplay. Or the game plan. I am seeing 1, 2, 3 squad leaders down here. So it looks like we have a full collapse into this pocket here. With just over 3.5 minutes to go, OPBHB is going to use a human wave style attack and just full send it right down the middle. And I don't think Esprit de Corps is ready for this. This could work. This could absolutely work. Esprit has not observed. Look at this. Esprit is out of position at this point. They have not noticed that there's no one up there. And they've got a lot of players out there doing nothing. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm saying OP should have done earlier, and it might still not be too late. They could potentially still get away with this, and they could take the win, folks. We are going to have an exciting 3 minutes here. This could still go either way. Ref calling out 3 minutes left in the time. And OPBHB using excellent use of smoke. They are concealing their numbers, and because of this defensive style of play we're talking about in the forests, the Esprit players don't necessarily know that their opposition has vanished up there because they're just going to sit there and wait. They've been playing such a camp off, they didn't notice the difference. And look at this. OPBHB starting to make a breakthrough. Look at this. 4 players coming out of the smoke. Okay, a couple of them go down, but we still have a good push. That MG is coming in clutch for Esprit de Corps, mowing those players down. That is Nano, who is just laying down a steady stream of fire. They're going to have to take him down if they want to make any progress. The assault player goes down. Cryonic is, I'm assuming, camping a window there. Keeping an eye. That is an impressive amount of smoke by OPBHB. They are putting all their chips in for a push right here. Butter is trying to respond in kind to Nano. He goes down. He doesn't make it. We've got ourselves a little bit of a breakthrough here right in front of us. Freak Fighter goes down. Joe is still up. Dyslexic still up. Mole is still up. Madcap. Small goes down to a grenade. That means they're in grenade range. I'm going to guess that was U.S. Ranger, who is now going to face off against Joe, who has made a breakthrough. He has made it up to the wall. That's critical. He has hard cover now. He doesn't just need concealment from the smoke. He's in good position to make a play if he can pull it off. Dyslexic coming up to help him. Esprit de Corps starting to sense the danger, pulling their players off of the ridge, and they are collapsing down as well. But they are further behind in this race in terms of getting the territory. Of course, now they have full control of the sector, but that might not last. That might not last. Easton is just chilling in that sector, a little section to maintain that extra 3 times multiplier for the cap zone. Crew goes in, Joe goes down, Crew goes down, Freak Fighter goes down. Whoever that is up there who's mowing them down, looks like it's that MG. That's going to be Fortress, who is denying that critical access point. That was a good reaction by Esprit. They almost missed it, but they caught the window just in time, and I think they are going to be able to hold on here. 40 seconds left to go in the match. We've got like 50 who makes it into the house, it looks like. Oh, he's right outside. He's not quite in the house, and he goes down. Unfortunately, he's not able to make it in. 30 seconds left to play, and right now OPBHB is pushing with all they've got. It's not out of the question, but it is an uphill climb. Those MGs are just brutal. You can see that OPBHB players are starting not to care so much about their lives. They are trying to push up to take territory in a mass assault, and to their credit, they've gotten closer up here than they have previously. It has worked. It just may not be in time. 5 seconds left to go, and it looks as if Dyslexic's trying to take out that last section, and it's not enough. Folks, that's GG. Well played to both teams. That was a really exciting finish, and hats off to both teams. Hats off. I'll say this: great job to OPBHB. Put up a great fight, and of course, congrats to Esprit de Corps, who I believe are now 10-0, if I'm correct in understanding their record. They do certainly remain undefeated, the last and only undefeated team left in the tournament. So, folks, we're going to cap it off there. That's all from me. Thanks for joining, and have a great night.